Hello, hello. Good evening. Welcome to ROX Rox Box. Tonight we'll be going on the altar. So this is why I'm in the corner here, because it's not about me. It's about this surface here and how we're going to build on that for this altar. Oh, hey Ange, hey Carolyn, hi Anne. So before we get into the altar, if we just want to just check in on our connections. Hey Lucy, hey Belle, nice to see you all. So if anyone's got anything they wish to share with their crystal connection, connecting and carrying today, that will be great. And then just to also be aware, tomorrow is connecting, carrying, and then sleeping. So I won't hear about those tomorrow. We'll just be doing the live market. I'll hear about those on the Saturday. Okay. But hope we're all well. It's another beautiful day. It's been so nice. So this is why we're in our living room. This is the ROX Box living room we're in at the moment, where I first started doing the videos. With this one, I normally like to go outside, but there's a lot of families, bless them, enjoying their evening outside. So I didn't want to talk about setting up altars and new moon energy, where the neighbours can hear. They might think we're into a bit of voodoo. So I thought we'll come inside. So hey Amanda, I've been working with my piece of yellow quartz all week and not really getting anywhere. However, last night I wore my necklace that also has yellow jade, copal and amber in it. I went into my meditation hut in my garden. I had a really clear vision of swimming in a deep pool that had lots of really beautiful pink water lilies. And although they were beautiful, I was seeking something else. Then all of a sudden I saw a big yellow water lily after I reached it there. Lovely. So your yellow jade is just starting to come about, which is absolutely fine. Like we said yesterday with the jades, they are slow moving there. They are, they need to know that you're in this for the real thing before they share anything. So that's absolutely beautiful. Water lilies, nice, peaceful, calming, soothing energies from the water lilies. Really brings a pond to life, really makes it beautiful, which is what jade is good for. It's good for beautifying things. It's good for helping us to maintain our youth. So that is beautiful. So anybody else that would like to do their connections? Before we get into the altar, I would like to place a yantra board on this altar, but I want your guys' help. So I'm going to show you the 4 yantras, and I would like you to have a little vote to see which one you would like to be on here, because I want to put the water on here and then put the crystals around that. So our options are my Old Faithful, the Flower of Life grid. Okay, obviously we're going to be releasing these waters back into the river so they can flow around the world, and the flower life is nice for world healing. The other option is the heart chakra yantra, because obviously we're flowing with the motions, so heart energy might be needed there. We have the throat yantra, because obviously most of the stones that we'll be using connecting with water connects to the throat chakra, expressing, speaking, and allowing that flow. Or we have the moon yantra, because obviously we're dealing with the new moon altar. So there are your 4 choices: flower of life, heart, throat, or moon. So if we can cast our votes, put them in the comments so I know which one to put, because I'm really torn. I had no idea which one I was going to go for. So, hi Ange, I have Bogie stones from Canada which shouted at me. However, I have no need to use them until last night. They were proper calling me. Perfect. Work with them. Absolutely do that. That is good. And that is it. Sometimes we have stones that come to us. We have no need for them. We don't know what they're there for. But I always say hold on to them, because one day they will call out. And they will want to be used then. I've had stones for a few years now, and I've not picked them up. I've not connected. But I knew when I saw them that they needed to come with me. But then we just managed to hold on to them until they open up, until they call out. So Bogie stones for you. Hey Anne, mine was strange. I was a young child outside the main door of Durham Cathedral. I recognised the knocker. I opened the door, felt very small, and walked up central aisle. As I reached the main altar, it opens up and I'm in a forest. Another child appears. I don't know her. We played, gather flowers, and make headdresses. It might be worth seeing what Durham Cathedral is built on, because most churches, most Christian places are built on old pagan Druid sites. So the fact that you went there, but then you turn into the altar, it might be showing you what was there beforehand. And that child might have been some relevance from that place, but linking in, realizing that you were both linked in and there. But yeah, I'm glad you knew it was Durham Cathedral because of the knocker. I'm not up to date with my knockers on cathedrals. I couldn't even tell you what extra one looks like. But thank you, Caroline. I told you that I was just drawn to my serpentine. Yep, for the last weeks. Yep, I keep them on my bedside table at night, and first thing in the morning, I put them in my pockets. Not today. I spend the morning without crystals, without thinking about it. And then the postman brought my Merlin night, and now I'm in heaven. Thank you again for the beautiful stone and quick post. Oh, bless you. And also thank you for all you guys who have received your parcels. Thank you for letting us know and messaging us. So, yeah, beautiful there. And that was the reason. The Murder Night was on its way to you, Caroline. Enjoy it. Lucy, connected and carried my citrine today. Connecting, I was back at the house from yesterday. This time I was running through a beautiful yellow cornfield, chasing a yellow butterfly. As we played, the butterfly got bigger and bigger until it could pick me up and took me flying. I have had another light, sunny, playful day despite the pain of homeschooling. Oh, well, butterfly is all about that transformation, transitioning. So the butterfly there growing bigger and bigger could be your something that you're dealing with, that you're getting bigger and bigger, growing into, getting more confident in. But like I mentioned with butterfly, we do have that pause in between the caterpillar, the chrysalis, and the butterfly. That chrysalis stage is the pause stage, where we need to sit and reflect and look inside ourselves. Different to the frog cycle, because the frog changes, it evolves continuously. Whereas even though in the catalyst there's stuff going on the outside, it doesn't look like there's stuff going on. So definitely transformation there. Beautiful. Oh, brilliant. No worries, Sarah. Happy barbecuing. Enjoy. And yeah, don't feel like you need to do this now, because obviously it's not new moon till tomorrow. But obviously we've got the live market tomorrow, so we're doing it today, getting everybody all ready with that. So, what was the verdict on Flower of Life? You guys know me so well. Flower Life it will be. Just put the other ones there. So please don't worry if you can't see me throughout this video. The object of this video is not to see me. It's to see this area here. So as long as we can see this and you can hear me, I'm absolutely fine. Evening, Esther. Yes, look into that, Anne. Absolutely. Yeah, just see what it's about. See if there's anything forest related, anything druid related around Durham. What was around the cathedral. I'm carrying my yellow jade, but not mothering it. Oh, you crack me up, Leslie. Love you to bits. Okay. So, we shall make a start on our altars. So, for those of you who have been following us, this is our second new moon altar. We started doing the altar videos at the new moon last time. And then we did Beltane. Then we did the full moon. And now we're back again with the new moon. So I've cleared the deck. We're starting from scratch, just to make it clearer for you guys what we are doing. But like I've said, look at your altar, see what needs to be taken out, see what needs to be put in. Okay, there's stones that we put in on each altar to help us through those stages and to help us through that time. And now is a nice time to look at that altar, because some of those things that we've got on that altar might have done its time. They might have need removing and new energy being brought in. So first thing I always do, whether this has still got stuff on it or whether we're starting afresh, is we'll cleanse the area. Okay. So choose your own poison for cleansing. I'm using California white sage. And just cleanse. And if we have got stuff already on our altar, because like I said before, it's quite nice with your altars just to keep something there from that last altar, keep something there from the altar before. So when we've done a 12-month altar, there is stuff from on that altar from the first time we did it. So it's like little timelines. We can look at the progression of our journey. We can look at how far we've changed, we've improved, we've progressed in those 12 months. So with the sage, we can go round. Okay. Or if you're working somewhere where you can't sage, you can't smudge, then we can use sound. So these are the tincture bells. Okay, and for me, I'll just go on all corners. Or you can use your singing bowl. So whatever you feel you need. So literally anything that you've got is what my feather. It was a swan, a mute swan was my feather. I felt like using this because obviously we're working with water healing as well. So I thought I'd bring swan in for that energy. Normally I have my pheasant feather that's got the painting of the fox on, but I thought I would use this one. So that's with the feather I used. So we can use anything to cleanse, sound, whatever works for us, use that. So we've got a nice blank picture here. So now, again, it's about bringing things in that resonates with you. This is your altar. This is for you, not for me. I'm just doing a communal altar. So this might get a little bit chock-a-block. There might be a few more things on here than what would be on a normal altar. That's because we're going with your guys' views and my views, and we're just building that up. Okay. So the only two things I've got on here are my incense. I always love burning my incense. And I've got it's the 7 chakra that I'm going to be burning. And you get that from Modest Shop up in Bideford, Earth and Heaven. So I'll get the incense going. And also, if you've not got the incense, but you like your oils, you can use your diffuser. So I've got my little oil burner here. It is filled up with water, so I'm just being careful not to chuck that around. And for me, for this new moon, I'm looking at cleansing, and particularly around these waters that we're carrying and what's going to be on this altar. I want this water to be cleansing. I want it to be refreshing. I want it to go out there and really make a difference, really turn things around. So the oils I've got in the oil burner is some tea tree, a drop of that, enemy, just because I love the scent of enemy. It's I think it's a pine. I know Anne will correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think it's from the pine. Frankincense, because frankincense is an amazing aroma bringing in that cleansing. And then I can't go anywhere at the moment without my Mei Chang. That is the one I'm using at the moment. I love that citrusy. So for me, it's getting those smells that are really going to be uplifting, refreshing, cleansing, antiseptic, cleaning, clearing. So when I release these waters, I'm not putting these oils in my water I'm releasing. I'm allowing these oils to burn in the oil burner. I'm not putting them in the water itself because we're releasing this back into wildlife. So I don't want that to go. So that's the oils. And don't forget, Saturday night, we have got Anne and Georgie coming on live on ROX Rox Box to talk about essential oils, which is always good to talk about, always good to know. Even this morning, I saw a post where somebody saw that people were advising to ingest essential oils, and the comments was all over the place. But so I'm glad we've got Anne and Georgie coming in to have a chat about that. So my oil burner's lit, my incense is lit. You guys chose the Flower of Life yantra, so that is going to be on here. And now we can put in whatever we want. Okay, we're thinking of the new moon. So what crystals, what feelings do we get for the new moon? So if you guys want to take a few minutes to think of any words, any feelings, if you think of any crystals that you think can go on here. Yes, Esther, I don't know whether you were here at the beginning because I didn't know which yantra to use. I had the heart, the throat, and the moon one up, and the flower life, and I left it for the viewers to decide because each one could have took place on this altar. And they've gone for the flower life, which I love. It's my most worked yantra board. It's great. So I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to have a swig of my coffee. While you guys just think about beginnings, fresh start, creativity. Absolutely. So, I mean, so there are definitely words. So before we start laying the stones, I'm just going to set up my north, south, east, and west. That's the way I like to work. Again, this is optional for you guys. But north, which is here, is earth. And so for me, I like to have wood to resemble that. Then we come to east, which for me is air. And I bring smoky quartz to that. Then we've got south, which is fire. And carnelian is going to represent that for me. And then west, water. So I'm going to use my aquamarine there. So with creativity, we can have carnelian. We could have something from the sacral chakra for creativity there, because that's our creative center. So if I look here, So I'm going to put some orange calcite down for that creativity. And I think this symbolizes fresh start as well. That lovely orangey, zesty vitamin C color of orange calcite is that fresh start, that creativity. So nice one there, Esther. So anybody else that could think of any crystals, any words? What does the new moon resonate with you? Let it go, my mum, and past demons. New start. Okay, so this is your cord cutting. You need something there to cut the cords. So for you, Ange, I'm going to place some citrine on this altar for you. Keeping your mind positive, keeping your thoughts in the future as well as the present, not dwelling in the past. So citrine will be on here for you. And for your own altar, don't feel you need to go big. These can be tumbles. Again, I'm using big pieces here so you lot can see them where you are. Absolutely, Amanda. Absolutely. I know when we put the water on here, I'm going to be using aquamarine, amethyst, and citrine. But you guys can use any 3 crystals you want. I'm using aquamarine because for me that embodies the water, that embodies the ocean, that allows that flow. So allowing those energies that I'm going to put into that water to flow where it's needed. But you guys can have another stone that can represent water for you. Blue lace agate, blue calcite, the opals, anything that you look at and think, that reminds me of the ocean, that reminds me of the river, that reminds me of water. Use that. I'm using amethyst for that general healing. So healing as it's flowing, healing while it's going. But again, you might have another healing crystal. Bring that on board. And then citrine for abundance, manifestation, allowing my thought and your thoughts to grow as it flows, allowing it to manifest, really become powerful. Yeah, there's that saying that, you know, one side of the world, a butterfly will flap its wings. That ripple effect will create a hurricane on the other side of the world. So for me, I'm just pouring in a container of water into that river. Those ripples are going to manifest. They're going to go further. So that's why citrine is coming on board. So again, if you have something else that you want to replace citrine that symbolizes abundance or manifestation for you, go for it. So new habits and goals. I don't know why, and I don't know if it's because the sun is out shining bright and I seem to be picking yellow stones, but for you, Lucy, I'm going to put tiger's eye on here for you for new habits and goals. That's there for you. I'll put them there so people can see that. Okay. I'm getting balance, and I feel like fire agate and a bluish turquoisey. I have turquoise here. So, Carolyn, I'm putting turquoise there for you. Fire agate is behind me. So later on, I will put this on there for you. At the back here is our shelving units of our crystals. So I daren't move a cloth, else it might all fall down and I'd end up looking like Rent-A-Ghost. So, yeah, but I will put fire agate on there. Again, we're really tuning in to this new moon, but also this summery vibe of this. This is brilliant. We're getting fire agate, tiger's eye, citrine, orange calcite. New challenges, Anne. For you, I'm going to put some rhodonite on there to support you through those new challenges. Okay? So we've got rhodonite on there. And I will also be bringing my eye light bowl, which for me is the significance of the new moon. I love working with eye light with the new moon, those visions. So for these people who want new beginnings, new goals, new challenges, try working with eye light. Allow your third eye to open and visualize these goals, challenges, or what this new beginning you would like. So again, in this bowl, at any point through this live feed, if you want to put any intentions into this bowl, I will happily write them down at the end of the video and I'll place them in this bowl. So this is for our visuals, our visual intentions. And it doesn't have to be what we're letting go of. It doesn't mean what we're shedding. It can be what we want to manifest, what we want to bring into our lives from now to the full moon. So this is for visions. And just like before, we've got the black moonstone bowl for our emotions, our feelings. So if there's any feelings we want to encourage, any emotions we want to bring in at this point in our lives, at this moment of the year, then I will put this bowl on the opposite side of the grid of the yantra board. And if you guys want to give me any of your emotional or feelings, your intentions there, I will put these, write these down and put them in this bowl. So we've got eye light for visions. I'm just going to replace that big aquamarine with a small piece. I'm just frightful that I'm going to knock it over. So aquamarine is still, water and west is still being represented, but by a little piece. So eye light is your visions. Black moonstone for your emotions, your feelings. So if you guys want anything putting in these bowls, or even private message me later and I'll add them to it. This is going to be set up for 3 days. So that energy will be there. And just like before, I'll keep them in these bowls to keep us going, to keep us focusing, and to keep that intention there until the full moon. And then the full moon, I'll light the cauldron up and we will burn these intentions. So they will be gone. Anything that wants to be gone will be gone. Anything that we need to encourage will go up to the universe to manifest that intention to bring into our lives. Ah, that is beautiful. That is one of like my favorite love stories, is when two people have married, separated, but then got back together again. That warms my heart. I have a lovely couple who come to our workshops, and they did that. They got married, then they divorced, and now they're back together again. And I love that, because that just shows strength. That shows determination and absolutely forgiveness. So I think for you guys who have mentioned these, and I've put the crystals on there, I will also write these down and I will put them into these bowls. Okay. And for you, Amanda, I'm going to give rhodochrosite. Rhodochrosite for you, for your forgiveness. Oh, for both. Yeah, rhodochrosite, it's the higher heart. So it's allowing you to open up and receive and to give love, to really work on that balance, that two-way street. And rhodochrosite is that forgiveness. It's that inner child. But when you see children, they know how to forgive. So many times, you know, when they're at school, they've got a best friend one day, then the next day they're not best friends anymore. But then the next day they are best of friends. And it doesn't really matter. They are so easy to forgive. And they forgive so easily, children. So I love that energy. So rhodochrosite is on that for you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course I can. I could do that for you, lovely. I'll put that in the bowl, but at the moment I'm putting moonstone on. So I'll put that on there for you, and that reminds me then that I need to put something in the bowl for you. Okay, Sandra. So iolite, not sure if I spelled that right. Yeah. Yeah, so iolite can come from two places. We get it from India, or we get it from Madagascar. So absolutely, Sandra. It is quite easy to get hold of. And that is the common iolite. The gem variety. So in our wedding ring, that's iolite there. The gem quality isn't that cheap, but the stone variety is. In fact, I've got a little tumble here. I'll whack it in your parcel for you. Okay, so when we send the heart off, we will put a tumble of iolite in for you. All right, sweetheart? In case you can't find any. Releasing self-doubt, rechanging how I work. Okay. I've actually, because of our stock being behind here, I'm picking things out of my own healing carrier. So these are the crystals that I use for my own healing. So this is why they're quite small, because I only carry tumbles in my healing box. So for you, Anne, I will put that in the bowl. But for your representation on here, I'm drawn to green aventurine for you. Green aventurine, because of that self-doubt, I wanted to give her a green heart chakra stone. So it's all about us realizing us and changing those things. So want that. And also venturine is part of the quartz family. So keeping us in our mind, keeping that focus and allowing that change to come in. So yeah, I think green aventurine. And obviously with your altars, feel free to place them around how you want. I'm putting these quite up front so you guys can see. And this is the difference between an altar and a grid. A grid, we would put them on a geometric pattern like the flower of life, and we would have them in a certain place to have that energy moving and to help it to flow. Whereas when we do an altar, it's down to us. We could do an altar on a mantelpiece. We can do it on a square. Anywhere where we've got that space, we could do an altar on. So it's down to you guys how you will do that. Okay, is there anybody else that wishes to add anything? I love doing these videos because I like getting you guys involved. It's nice for me just to shut up and let you lot talk for a change. So anything at all? And we're using crystals because we're a crystal business, but you can bring anything to this altar. If you work with tree energy, instead of having crystals for your north, south, east and west, you might find different trees that will resonate for earth, fire, air and water. You might find shells, you might find pebbles, anything that you're drawn to, you could put that on the altar. Yeah, we've seen when we had Moon Kestrel on, we saw some of her altars, and when you look at her on a Sunday night, she'll show some of her altars. We also had Naomi on from Naomi Art showing how she does her altars. So they're all different, they're all for us. Okay, Leslie. I don't know why, Leslie, but I'm putting nephrite jade on here for you. Actually, now I know because you're working with yellow jade. So that's weird. I've got a feeling that you're meant to be working with jade. You're meant to be working there because, first of all, I went for labradorite. And I was like, no. Then sodalite. And I went, no. Because I was thinking here. And then when I actually dropped into my heart and thought, what does my heart say you need? Jade came to me. So I would say, yeah, stick with jade. See how that works for you. Absolutely. Of course I can. Bring in that health. So at the moment, so I'm going to be putting ametrine on here for you, Sandra. Ametrine, which is a mixture of citrine and amethyst. So you've got the general healing of amethyst there, that really soothing flow, but then you've got that edge of citrine. that little bit of positivity, that bit of joy, that kickstart. So it really gives the amethyst a little bit of an edge to it. So they're on there, and I'll put something in the bowl as well for that, and then we'll burn it on the full moon and really release that potential out there. Okay, and as I carry on with anything else we want to put onto the altar that's not crystal related. So I'm going to, for me, I always put on some link to animals. So, you know, over on my table, I've got the hare skull and the fox skull, which will be coming on here, but I don't put them on here because I know some people won't. So for my Wildwood Tarot deck, I'm going to have the hare there to represent the moon, the new moon. And I'm going to have the fox, the cheeky chap. Because I always like my guides to come in and to put in a bit of their energy. So, and then also because we've got the water theme going on, I'm going to have the whale there. So they're the three, but the list could be endless. You know, if you want to put something on your altar that represents the sea animals and stuff like that, you've got Ray that you can go with. Absolutely crocodile. Yeah, this is going to be, these waters are going to be going everywhere. We've got the crab, seal, and dolphin. So anything at all that you think, oh, that reminds me of the sea, that reminds me of the rivers, place that on. Just to add to that energy, just to give you a bit more, to give you your altar a little bit more power, a little bit more oomph, a focus point. You know, Naomi used her meditation cards. These cards could be used for us just to focus on, and we can send that healing to those animals. While that water's going off there, we can visualize that they're the ones that are going to benefit from that. Okay. Then I'm going to put my water in the middle there. And I'm going to place my 3 crystals around it. Again, if you've not got your water, whether through being in isolation or you've not got round to it, please feel free to tap into my water. But we'll be using citrine. Charge this water with the abundance, the manifestation. I'll be choosing aquamarine to embody that water spirit, and amethyst for the healing. Allow it to soothe, to calm, to heal as it's flowing. So that is how my altar is going to look. And I appreciate, once again, and I always say this because I always don't want people to think that they need to have something impressive, something big on their altar. Simplify it. If I was just doing this for me and I had these crystals here, I'll just have the one tumble. I'm just bringing them here and grouping them so they're a little bit more bigger for you guys to see on the camera. The bowls, if you want to give your own personal intentions of your emotions and your visions. Have a third eye crystal. Write your intentions on a bit of paper and put that paper underneath a third eye stone. For your emotions, your feelings, choose a sacral chakra crystal. Write your intentions on that and put that stone on top. You don't need to go big. I always say this, but I feel I have to always say it. So why this water is here, it's taking on these energies. It's also going to be taking on these energies as well. It's going to be taking on the smoke, the essence from the oil burners. We're going to invoke the animals that we've put down there, the whale, the fox, the hare. I might add a few more animal cards on there. But if you haven't got if you haven't got anything to represent an animal, write it down. If you haven't got the crystal, write it down. Write down any words, anything. This is your personal altar. Make it unique. Make it your own. If you're like me and you've got huge amounts of oracle decks, tarot cards, look through those. Look through those cards. See if there's anything there that resonates with you. Especially if I've got affirmations like this deck here that's got the whale on. At the bottom, there's some words there. Read those and you might think, oh, okay, that's something I might want to put into that altar, something that I might want to shift. Put that on there and allow it to incorporate into your energy, into your altar. So what I'm going to do now is, with thanks to this bit of wood, I'm just going to move this water a bit closer to you guys. Okay, so you can see that. What I would like you to do, for those who haven't had chance to collect their water or unable to collect their water, I want you to focus on this container of water, and I want you to put in that what you want to give out to the world, what you want to flow out from the container into the world through the waterways. So again, not necessarily anything personal or anything that we want to let go of, something that we want to see around the world. You know, this is this unity coming together. So I'm going to give you all a couple of minutes just to really put that in to that water, infuse it. I want this water to be bubbling with your intentions that you want to send around the world via the water world. If it's easy for you to comment. If it's easy for you just to spend a minute in silence, visualizing that water and giving that water your affirmation. It could be just one word. It could be a sentence. But I'll just leave you for a minute in silence just to focus on that water. Are we all done? Have we all said what we wish to spread into the water? I'll place that back into the center of the grid. And that's going to be at Dan ROX for 3 days. So we're going to invoke it tomorrow night for the new moon. And then it'll stay till Sunday. And we will release that back where we got it from. So all our beautiful intentions, all the deep meanings that we've put into that will go there. And I think some of you've done a real good job. I feel that is bubbling away. And if any of you who are watching at a later time, please join in. It doesn't matter that it's not real time. Put that intent in there. Allow it to focus. And for you guys that got your own waters, sit there, put your intentions into that. And then 3 days of the new moon, we'll go and release it. Allow it to go out there. And, you know, it'll be so nice because somewhere along this water is going to meet your water. And that's what I love doing these and really bringing that cleansing energy to the waterways because they're going to meet. Doesn't matter where it's going to be, they're going to meet and they're going to just connect and carry on with the flow. So any questions at all about this? I think I'm happy with this setup. I love how this is. I will do the writings on what you guys have put there and I'll put them in these bowls so that their intentions are going to be there. But just think to yourself, to your own personal altars, what do you need to bring in through this time? What do you want to start on? What do you want to work on? And just see it through to the full moon. Keep building. You know, don't rush. Don't turn around and say, you know, tomorrow put intention and hope for it to be done on Saturday. Look at the moon. Look how bit by bit it waxes, bit by bit. Then it gets to the half moon and bit by bit until it becomes full. That's what we need to work on, bit by bit. Take little steps. And even if we get to the full moon and we still need to go a bit more, then just reflect after the new moon because it wanes. So reflect on that. Let that time pass by reflecting and focusing. Then we get to the new moon and start again. It's a really nice thing. I love working by the moon. It's so nice. And I hope that you enjoy it too. And at some point we could do we could acknowledge air, we could acknowledge earth, and we could acknowledge fire. So if the next one, if we want to choose another element, I'm more than happy to go with that for the next new moon and really send that out there. Really work with the elementals, really working with what basic powers we had back in the times begone. You know, the druids, the pagans. It's just a nice thing where we don't have to rely on electrical, technical things, although we do with this. This is a great power, but we've got what we've got around us and use that. And if any of you want to send me pictures tomorrow, because don't forget, tomorrow is the new moon. So don't rush around now. You don't have to. You can take this time to give it a bit of thought, see what you feel. And tomorrow we can go and build our altars. And please do. I know some of you do send me pictures. I love seeing what you guys have done. I love what it is that is drawn to you, because I love seeing everyone's individuality. When we do the full day gridding workshops, I love it because we give out a topic and everyone grids something completely different. And it's amazing. It is brilliant. So did we all get to put our intentions into the water? If we did, that is great. If you didn't, I'm happy to put it out on front again for you to do that. But that, if there's no questions, I'm quite happy to leave it there. And so don't forget tomorrow. Thank you. Give our love to Dobby. Esther's taken her house elf out for a walk. Bless her. She's got a real house elf. It's amazing. So yeah, so don't forget tomorrow we've got our live market. That is still at 5 o'clock. I know this week we moved everything an hour, but that is still 5 o'clock. And you might want to bring your virtual passports. We might be going on an adventure. Then Saturday, we've got the amazing Aroma Wizards starting at 6 o'clock. After we've caught up on our connections, we will introduce them with the essential oils. And then next week, next Wednesday, we've got the lovely Jo Duckfield, who does meditations and healing and readings. She'll be coming on next Wednesday at 6. And then next Saturday, we've got Helen Chapman, who's going to be talking about shamanism, giving us a brief introduction into shamanic practicing, the drum, and other bits and bobs that goes with shamanic practicing. So we've got another good week coming up. So thank you so much for being here. Really enjoyed this. It's a lovely thing to do, and it's nice to share it with you guys. So I'm sorry I'm stuck up in the corner here, but tomorrow I'll be back to normal at 5 o'clock. Passports, boarding passes, pack lightly though. Don't pack too much, but I'll join you here at 5 tomorrow for our live market. We're off on an adventure. Have a good one, guys. Any questions at all, message me and I'll answer them.